City, quit looking at me, mi amor. City, I know you're looking at me. Mi amor, I love you. Uh, guys, I'm sorry. I have my director here with me, as you can see. Um, so when deflection doesn't work, what does Meghan Markle do? What City does? She nudges and nudges and nudges until she gets your attention, your full attention. Narcissistic people, when things don't go their way, they place blame. When placing blame doesn't work, they deflect. When deflection doesn't work, they victimize themselves. When victimizing themselves doesn't work, then they attack you. That is literally what's happening right now with Rachel Meghan Markle, with that Vanity Fair. Now, a lot of people are saying, and I've been actually told by somebody very reliable, that Meghan Markle was involved with that article, Vanity Fair. She was involved. And if you look, and there's many, many instances in that Vanity Fair article when you can see, so Vanity Fair lied. Vanity Fair lied, in my very humble opinion, and I believe the person who told me. Because when you really sit down to examine that article, for example, I'll give you just one example. When she says that American Riviera Orchard is going to be successful no matter what. No matter what, American Riviera Orchard is going to be successful, and that Meghan Markle is being singled out. Because in 1898, it was Santa Barbara that was known as American Riviera, but not Montecito. But they are not allowing her to patent her company, because you can't patent a geographical place. And then they put in marks and in parentheses, as that of Queen Victoria. The digs to Princess Catherine, how she's done nothing. The only thing she's done in 12 years, their racism, hiring an expert to come and double down on their racism. That whole thing is peppered with racism. Mindy Kaling, how Mindy Kaling assumed that she was popular. Meghan Markle goes in that paragraph is that huge narrative about how Meghan had to become the president of this, the president of that. The whole thing is very Meghan Markle. And the backlash, it's like, everything is compounded. Everything is compounded. Her lies are exposed, and Netflix is a whole mess. This is like the worst thing that could happen to a narcissist is happening to Rachel Meghan Markle, because in her mind, she doesn't understand why you don't love her. Why don't you love Meghan Markle? Can't you see that she's wonderful? All those people that are that are saying that she's a bully. No, it's you. It's you. It's because you're racist. Meghan Markle is a wonderful woman who just wants to do good in the world. And as such, she's having a complete meltdown. Now, sources are saying that Meghan Markle is not doing well, that she is mentally distressed. I think she's mentally deranged, personally, but okay, let's go with she's mentally distressed, that her mental health, that she wants to self-exit, unalive herself. The problem is that Harry no longer cares. Harry's not around anymore. Harry really is fed up with it. It's like, not again. We saw that in that CBS interview that they gave, how he is absolutely checked out from that kind of story, and he's not buying it. And nobody else around her is buying it either. However, she is suffering. I do believe that she is upset because she doesn't understand herself. What people can see, how perfect she is, how wonderful she is, how she's always right, how you are wrong, how people like me are racist. That's horrible social media. And it's how it's us who are causing her this harm. And they're trying to shift the blame on us, place the blame on us, that if anything happens to Rachel Meghan Markle, it's because of people like us. That evil UK media, although it's not the evil UK media. This is the Hollywood Reporter, the Daily Beast, Page 6, Vanity Fair. You name it. You name it. So, yeah. And she's putting out these articles because she wants Harry to feel bad. The article where she put out, I did a video about it today. Please do go watch it. The article about where she's saying that, oh my God, even if they wanted to get divorced, they're not gonna, because their value is both of them together. The fact is that Meghan Markle knows that the value for her is being married to Harry, while she's devaluing Harry while for being married to her. And it's very interesting, this thing, and this, because I'm going to do an in-depth, because I just found some news that I'm going to do a video about it tomorrow, that Parliament is getting serious in regards to the children. And they are now requesting very quietly for proof of those births. So we might see things shifting around. 2024 said it was going to be the year of accountability. 2025 is going to be the year of downfall, because them sniffing around for those proof of birth of those kids, that she birthed them, it's going to be a tough one for Meghan Markle. But the interesting part of it all here, guys, is like, there is this article how Meghan Markle is saying, I'm a mom. I love being a mom. I love being a mom. I love being a mom. I'm a mom first. I'm a mom first. I'm a mom first. My mom, my children, my first title is mom first. We know that, right? Blah, 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 blah. And Harry complaining about how his father was not around. And that Vanity Fair, they even go as far as saying that he was left on his own since he was 8 years old. I saw him traveling with Princess Diana and Prince Charles and everywhere, and he was having fun with his cousins, but never mind that. Let's go with this narrative that he had a rotten childhood. His father was not there. His father didn't even ride a bicycle with him. In that article, there's a section that says, in the Vanity Fair article, there's a section that says that Harry would be more than happy traveling around the world, kissing babies and stuff like that. Why? In none of the articles that we see out there do we ever hear, for example, that would have been a great thing for Harry to say. Harry would love nothing more than to be a stay-at-home father, to raise his 2 children, to give them the childhood that he never had, to be a present father for these 2, because they're like 3 and 5, accordingly. But they don't mention the children in any of the articles. Nobody, no royal expert, no royal articles, nobody is talking about what happens after the divorce. What's going to happen with the children? Because the only thing anchoring Harry to the US is his marriage to Meghan Markle and the children. And by all accounts, he's incredibly unhappy in the United States. He hasn't been able to form a social circle of friends. He's hated, he's ridiculed, and he's mocked. And he's in a loveless marriage. He now knows he hates this woman. I mean, he really can't stand her. They can't stand to be together. And it has nothing to do because when they're together, he's protective of her. That is, we know that's absolute BS. But nobody's asking that. Why isn't Harry saying, there's nothing more I would love to do than to be a stay-at-home dad? Didn't he say that, didn't he do that interview that it was a genetic pain or something that's passed down generations? That would have been a great point for Harry to break and say, you know what? I would love nothing more than to be a very present father and be a stay-at-home dad. And if my wife wants to make the money, that's fine. In the denials of the book, that was a threat in the Vanity Fair, because that was a direct threat that Meghan Markle wanted put in there to say to Harry, listen, buddy, I was talking about a book. The reason why there's no book is because there's no divorce. But if there is a divorce, there's going to be a book, there's going to be a movie. I mean, there's going to be all kinds of things. That was a direct threat that Meghan Markle put there, because look at the wording of the Variety article, that it says that the book never materialized because there was no divorce. So had it been a divorce, what would have happened? What would have come up? But yeah, it's interesting. It is incredibly interesting how neither Harry nor Meghan talk about these 2 children. There's a big talk about divorce, but none of the royal experts are talking about what's going to happen to these children. Everybody's talking about Harry returning to the UK. Is he going to come back alone? Is he going to leave his children there? Didn't he say the most important thing for him to be was a father? Didn't he go on that stage on New York and said, oh, what do you have on your phone screen? Like screensaver. I have my 2 children. I just spoke to them. Nobody is talking about it, which is, I find it quite fascinating. And that Harry doesn't want to be a stay-home dad. to give those two children ride bikes with them, see them grow up, have to make sure to ensure that at least those two children have one steady parent at their home, take them to school, drive. Where were they when it was supposedly Archie's first day of school? In Colombia. Badly dancing salsa with Rachel Meghan Markle for a photo op. Mother's Day, Meghan in Nigeria. She didn't even wish her mother happy Mother's Day. It was all about her. So now she's in full meltdown because you guys don't understand how wonderful. I don't get how beautiful and wonderful this woman is. And she's going to keep putting all those things because you see, if she can't win by deflecting, by bullying you, she's going to victimize herself. The problem is that when you cry wolf too many times, nobody believes it. And this woman is so narcissistic. I mean, in many ways, I do feel sorry for her in the sense of that she's in a trap of her own doing. She put herself, she cornered herself. But in her insanity, she's still suffering because none of us, and now even less people from Hollywood, can see how wonderful she is. We don't get her. See, that's our problem. And she's having a mental breakdown, serious mental breakdown because of that. She's in serious mental health distress. She's in serious distress. And Harry's nowhere to be found. She's suffering alone, just like she suffered alone when she was in the UK and she wanted to exit, self-harm herself and she didn't tell Harry that she's suffering on her own. So who's going to rescue Meghan Markle this time? Because from what I hear, this woman is getting also during all this mental distress that she's seriously falling apart. Because I do believe she's unraveling, guys. I kind of do believe that she's unraveling. She just doesn't know it or doesn't see it. She doesn't know that she is done. Meghan Markle doesn't know that she's unraveling. Meghan Markle doesn't want to know. She wants to continue. It's like when you're in complete denial. She thinks she's going to go to Invictus in February 8th with her two children, whichever those actors are that she hires them, because now they're going to have to start taking the children out to gain sympathy. So are you feeling sorry for Meghan Markle? Don't you find it odd that Harry doesn't want to be a stay-at-home father to raise his two children? Don't you find it odd that nobody in the press is talking about Harry, that Harry and Meghan want to be traveling everywhere, but they don't want to be with their own kids, and they're very young children. Everybody's talking about divorce, but nobody's asking what's going to happen to these two children. Is it because we know that those kids don't matter to them, or there are no kids? Which one do you think it is? Because the video I'm going to put tomorrow is going to blow you away from what's happening right now. What's happening, and it's happening, and that's gonna. If Meghan Markle right now is in full mental distress breakdown, what's coming her way is gonna really, really send her over the edge. So let me know what you think, beautiful people.